Hello dear viewers, and welcome to a new episode of Windows. I'm your host for tonight, Muhammad Abdurrahim, and we'll be talking here about global warming, about climate change, about the very important issue of water security, food security, all issues that have to do with our planet, with the and we'll be doing that in the company of Dr. Hassan Abu Naga, and he's an international expert and general coordinator of the Water program at Cologne University of Applied Sciences in Germany. A very good evening to you, Dr. Abu Naga, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. It's a great pleasure to be with you today.
Thank you, sir, for being here. This is a very important issue, a very important topic. We all hear about, wars for water. The fact that water, this most precious element in our lives, is becoming scarce. Scarcity of water. But the importance of water to food security, to agriculture. And all of this is happening at a time when the advanced industries are causing pollution and causing harm to the environment and causing global warming and climate change. And this in turn is also hurting our very precious water resource. So tell us about the situation, the global situation at the moment when it comes to water.
Well, the world of water has been going through major transitions, and we have been facing greater change pressures of increasing demands for water, coupled with climate extremes such as floods and droughts, especially also, as you said, with water scarcity, especially in our region, in the Arab region. It is the most water scarce region in the world, with water scarcity cited as one of the most risks that the world has been facing. When it comes to the global level, the recent UN reports reporting about the SDG 6, which is really calls for water. It's the Sustainable Development Agenda that we have to achieve by 2030, and for sure here in Egypt we have it in the name of Vision 2030. The UN reports alarmed the world about the situation of water, that the world is off track to almost all water-related sustainable development goals. So starting, water is connected with poverty, with energy, with climate change, with all the 17 sustainable development goals.
Right.
And also with the climate agenda. And here also Egypt plays a great role when it comes to the COP27 to emphasize on the role of water in order to achieve water security, sustainable development, and climate adaptation and mitigation. So now what we have been facing in the global and many cities that we see today reaches also to day zero, in which they are running out of water. What happened in Mexico, or what happening, all of this also put alarms for many cities around the world that we may face this. And this is urgent issues that we need really to get to get back to the track to achieve the SDG 6 by 2030. So imagine now we are in the, about 7 years into Sustainable Development Goals, and we are off track. And
off track.
We are off track, and we need really to a new paradigm. And I have published many articles with many leaders from United Nations and also from the World Bank, the need for a new paradigm to achieve water security.
What are the obstacles facing achieving water security? Is it the lack of finance, the lack of political will in some countries? Is it the conflicts between countries and perhaps their bordering or neighboring countries? What's the major obstacle, hurdle?
It's a challenges that varies from like place to place. There are some countries facing water scarcity, like the case in Egypt, in which we are under the water poverty line, 1,000 cubic meter per year, and we are reaching even to absolute water scarcity to 500. And also most of countries in the Arab region are less even 500. the challenges are coming not only from the lack of adequate also infrastructure. Globally, 4.2 billion people don't have access to sanitation, and 2 billion...
That's almost half of the world's population.
Exactly, and the 2 billion have access to safely managed water. In terms also not only about the quality of water, but also the access to really safely managed water.
And that's almost 1/4 of the world's population. And these are huge, scary numbers.
Yes, exactly. And this is scary numbers is really having effects on different sectors, and not only on also on society and on public health. And with this limited water resources, I think there is a need for a new paradigm implementing the integrated water resources management, or even to shift the way we manage water today. And this means that we shift from linear systems of use and dispose that use water once and throw it away, by emphasizing on the recycling and the circular economy model. And here Egypt has a great model when it comes to this. We have implementing really mega projects like Mahsama wastewater treatment plant, Al-Hammam, which is a new delta, to Bahr al-Bakr. These are huge projects that really emphasize that we need to shift from linear system to circular economy model. And for sure there are many challenges when it comes to finance, because according to the report, 4 to 6 times of the capital of investment that will be to reach the SDG 6 by 2030. And just about 2 months ago, there was also alarming report from World Bank that we only spent about 20% on what is needed. So imagine that we need really really huge investment on water. And this will not come for sure by public resources, that we need to increase new sources of finance, engaging the private sector with us, and also finding new models for finance. And this is very important to have an integrated approach that covers the financial approach, the management, the collaboration, the way we collaborate with each other, and also countries to collaborate at different levels, and also the way we draft our policies, because policies today needs to be more resilient and more integrated, and they can also to be dynamic from the challenges that we have been facing today.
Dr. Abu Naga, you have many points. Let me get back to one of them and ask you, do you believe there is enough awareness globally, at least among officials, among governments, of the problem of water, of the huge imminent threat that the world is facing? Is there enough awareness? And is there enough awareness between the people, I mean the public, the world's population?
So when it comes to the governments are already aware, because according to the World Economic Forum, water and climate change are the top of the risks. So everyone knows about this, and we already facing the challenges. But when it comes to awareness, this is the issue that we need also to change the mindsets. You find also there is a need for a rational of water use, because you could see also in many, I just said that the Arab country, the Arab region is already the most water scarce region in the world, but our consumption...
Third time you say more than sub-Saharan Africa?
Yes, yeah, for sure, because what we are facing in the Arab region, you can imagine we are just living in a desert, and you imagine
huge
with this
populations, big populations,
exactly,
that misuse water,
misuse of the water, and over abstraction of water resources, but also mismanagement for the resources, because also integrating the integrated water resources management also in the region is not good. But also when it comes to the consumption here in the Arab region and also in Egypt is about 3 times in Germany or Europe. So imagine in Europe they have a plenty of water, and also the diversity of water there is much more, but also their consumption is low. So I think this is a huge role that we have to play. And this is also the cross-cutting issues that need also all ministries and all sectors have to work hand in hand in order to raise awareness about this.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, and this is very important. not only from the awareness and also the role of media towards this, but also in our education and also in our policies and also the laws that has to be implemented in order to rational the water and use the water wisely.
Yes, Dr. Abu Naga, as you mentioned, SDG 6, Sustainable Development Goal number 6, talks about not only drinking water, not only sanitation, not only hygiene when it comes to water, but it also addresses the quality and sustainability of water resources and surely the management of water resources. What are the most, the newest thing, the newest trends or the newest technologies or the newest ideas tackle the best way and the most efficient way to use our water resources?
So you would say that the world or many countries are facing the fundamental challenge of doing more with less. And this is why we need innovation in order to really achieve the sustainable management of water resources. And now for this we need new solutions. These new solutions are coming now globally using the digital transformation of the water sector in order to use technology to use water wisely and also to sense the data and also to make informed decisions. And this is very important also for countries who has limited water resources or facing any crisis that comes from climate change that need awareness about also the crisis before it happens, and this digital transformation plays a great role in this. There are also major challenges when it comes to the water losses or non-revenue water, because you know in many cities around the world you would find outdated infrastructure. So imagine in Cairo or in London or in many cities around the world which is really all the cities and their infrastructure is outdated, and there is a huge challenge when it comes
even London could
even London they have a challenge. It's called the scientific terminology we call the non-revenue water, and the scale of non-revenue water is that you can imagine it's about 120 billion cubic meter is being lost every year.
Seriously,
very huge
there anyway.
Yes, and you would find cities, especially also in Arab countries or in many cities, that more than half of the water is being lost, whether it's physical losses due to the leakage in the network or commercial losses due to metering inefficiencies or illegal uses of water. And this is a huge challenge that we need really to work on it in order to really manage the water resources and also to conserve the limited water resource. And this is very important for the countries who are facing really water scarcity.
But at least side there, I mean,
exactly,
that there is a chance. So, but we just have to manage things in a better way.
Yeah, exactly. So the first we said that within the limited water resources, you could shift from this linear system to circular economy model. And here Egypt really plays a great model for many countries around the world.
Good.
By really reusing the water and we are really really proud that Egypt has taken this model in order to be replaced to many also developing countries to implement such solutions within the limited water resources. There is also new solutions that comes from non-traditional water, that comes from desalination, also as a hope for us to find new sources of water. So I think there is a need not only new sources for water like it comes from desalination or use, but also new sources of finance, because all this it's also like desalination, it's a highly energy intensive and also it's costly for many countries, especially for developing countries or countries are facing not only water scarcity but also facing economic water scarcity. And this is very important to mind. There are some countries only facing water scarcity but they don't have an economic water scarcity, but there are for countries like us who are facing both challenges.
And what's the definition of economic water scarcity? You mean that we cannot use enough water, for instance, in agricultural process and food production, or
the economic part, it means that they don't have the finance or the capacity in order to achieve all the investments. So you'll find many in Africa, they have a plenty of water, like the case on the upper Egypt, Like in Ethiopia, they have 3 water resources that we have in Egypt. Although they have diversity of water and they all have this vast water, they have an economic water scarcity. They do have a lack of infrastructure. So you would find they don't have access to water networks, and they don't have access to the sanitation. And this is a big problem because it's an economic scarcity, not water scarcity problem. But in Egypt or in many Arab countries here in this region, you would find this huge. We face the 2 challenges: water scarcity and the economic scarcity. And this is really a huge challenge for sure, with the increasing demands, and also you see growth, and also you see now, like here in Egypt, we are also expanding in more new cities, and these new cities also needs water, and we are expanding, and also to achieve also food security, you need also water. And this is a great element that we need to also to look at it wisely, to find innovative solutions, because traditional solutions is not enough, and the status quo for sure it is not enough, and we need to do more and double our efforts today in order to achieve water security and achieve water security for all.
Right, Dr. Abu Naga, how much has carbon emissions, global warming, climate change, how much has it complicated the situation of water?
You would find also the report is also from the IPCC, which is the intergovernmental association working with climate change, that also we are off track when it comes to climate agenda. This comes also from the world for sure, for the Paris Agreement, and you see also there are more emissions that comes from also mainly from richer countries, which is really making a huge also challenge also to developing countries, because I think the relation between climate change and water is really there, and you would find it because you see it all climate also extremes, like the floods that we see also in many countries, not only impacting developing countries, but also impacting also Europe and also richer countries, and the US, and also you see also the droughts. So all of this, you would see it also in the way of water. So the situation is interconnected. You see everything is interconnected. If we don't achieve the water agenda, this means that we cannot achieve for sure food security, that we cannot achieve the climate agenda. This is why we need really a collective actions that needs really not only to work on the national level but also in the global level. And when it comes to the global level, there is a need also for a new paradigm for this, because the escalating climate crisis is already there, and it will be intensified in the next years, because we are off track, and we didn't manage even to reach really close 1.5 degrees Celsius that we need to go for it. But also there is a hope also that we need really to accelerate the progress in order to really reduce the carbon emissions, and also to go for really now the renewable energy, and also the resilience for our infrastructure, and the focus here in our countries on the adaptation for climate change, because we cannot manage, to mitigate the climate crisis, and we see now the track is not going so good for many countries, and adaptation is important for us and for many developing countries. That is why this is one of the major outcomes that we have from COP27, and Egypt has really a good outcomes from the COPs, from climate, to emphasize the role of water, and also the loss and damage from climate extremes. This all, both alarms for many countries to change the way they look at the water and climate agenda.
Wow. What is more pressing? You're an expert in the field, so if somebody asks you what is more pressing, what is more important to work on, is it the reduction of carbon emissions so that we would be able not temperatures rise by 1.5 degrees Celsius for a long period, or is it to manage water resources better now and find innovative solutions to to solve the water scarcity and the economic water poverty problem?
So when it comes to the solution, size fits all solutions. For countries like in our country, we have now a gap between supply and demand. And in my opinion, that we have to work on both sides to increase new sources for water, but also rationalize the water use and also to work on the demand side management. And here I find the important thing for the solution is really to have an integrated solutions, because you see everything now is interconnected. And for the climate agenda, I think the water community also has to really change the mindsets for the water agenda in terms of the management for water resources, because you see also 80% of wastewater is being discharged to the environment, and we didn't get use of it. And
80%?
80%. This is huge, huge percentage for many.
That's just in Egypt, or
no? In Egypt, in Egypt we don't have this like this big problem, because we have mega projects working on this regard. But there are some villages already facing these challenges, and we have the great initiative of Hayya Karima working on this regard, on this integrated solution. But globally, when it comes to the management of water resources, that we need to shift even from infrastructure delivery to resilience, because you could have access to infrastructure or the water now, but don't have water at tap. And you'll find it in many countries around us, in Jordan or in Lebanon. They don't have access to the water network, but they have what's called intermittent water supply, in which people receive only water once or twice per week, and they have for sure to store their water on roof tanks or in tanks in order to use water.
But that is done on purpose, right? In order to save
because the limited water resources, and also the limited also of energy. And that is why when it comes to the solutions, we need to have innovative and integrated solutions, and not only focusing only on the engineering side to work on mainly on demand side, but also on finding new sources of finance. Also, we need also between also public utilities and the public authorities with private sector. At global level, we need also cooperations between countries over transboundary water issues, because you see now the challenges also is very acute also for many countries, for Egypt and also for many basins around the world. And this is also to, in my opinion, also that the current UN conventions are not enough, and we need also to new solutions that comes from United Nations, especially also from the Security Council, because we see now from climate issues and also from water security issues that there is a great role for the United Nations and also for the Security Council these challenges, and also to to be aware of the crisis that we are really coming to it, because now the issue is really intense in many countries, and we see the huge implications for it, because it impacts, you know, the national security. Is not now an issue about to use water for specific purposes. You see now a great also competition between the water resources, because domestic water resources and also the agricultural water resources, and you need increasing demands also over the time, and you need to mitigate this also with countries of transboundary water. Now in many countries you see also many cities around the world are connected to basins, and imagine in Europe or in any also places you will find, if you don't have this water at taps, there would be a huge implications on national security and also socio-economic development and also public health. And you see
how much would it affect food security and the agricultural sector in general? Water problems.
It's now becoming more intense, because there is now a competition between the domestic water resources and agricultural water resources. Like near to us in Jordan, you would find it reaches to 50-50 between domestic resources domestic use and also agriculture. In Egypt, we don't reach it to this level because we have more than 70 or 80% of our water is going to go to agriculture sector, but also is intensifying for us because we need also more water because we need we have new cities, we have a population growth, and this increasing demand, and we need to also to figure it. That is why to figure it out. This is why most of our food we getting from outside because we have limited water resources, and there is a gap.
And you don't want to
yes,
use all of your water resources.
And we already have a gap between supply and demand in which it could reach to about 20 billion cubic meter, and this is huge numbers that
per year.
Per year, yeah. And this is why we are we having when we have this gap, we need really to find the new sources and also to manage demand side management. And for sure, this means that we need more water.
How much has the Ethiopian Renaissance Dam hurt the situation in Egypt?
So in terms of impacts, you would find because the filling of the dam, it's like reservoirs. So you imagine all this Nile River, it becomes like an artificial one that you could play with it. So if you increase the reservoir, but all the other reservoirs don't have water, this would have a great impact. So the most pressing issue that we face in the Nile Basin is climate. And the climate, you don't know, there is a great uncertainty of it. Because if there is a drought, if there is a drought, this means that you have limited water resources, and this for sure will be impacting Egypt. For sure, if you have a dam, which will also have implications, or not only on food security and water security of other countries, but also on ecosystem, because the ecosystem of the Nile will be also impacting by also having this dam. The aquatic and also the ecosystem and in terms of the temperature of water also will be impacting the river. And for sure this would be having precautions, negative precaution if there is no agreement and cooperation between countries. So you imagine all this rivers and all this water resources that you use it for different purposes, and it's a part of the national security. And even in the ancient Egyptians, they have what we call this Nilometer. And this Nilometer was really the tool that the ancient Egyptian has been using
to
for
protect against the floods.
Against the flood, and also to use it also for all the economy of Egypt has been really on this measure. So for us in Egypt, this is very crucial for us. This is also representing us by that, in which is a level that we have to ensure it in order not only to ensure the water security, but also the energy, because us was also providing the energy for the communities around it. And for sure there is a need for cooperation between countries in this point. And this is why this is a need for really a global action towards this issue, because this is not easy. You see the impacts in Iraq from also the dams also that has been built on also in Turkey. And you will find implications on water quality and public health, and impacting for sure food security, and all sectors are really impacting.
All interconnected, as you stressed.
Exactly. This is why this is not an easy issue, and Egypt has taken great steps in order to work in this regard. But I think there is a need for global action, and for communities also, for the water communities, that they see all this alarming figures and this alarming signs that we see, and even everyone now and all reporters now recognize that we are off track on water, and this is really need for new solutions.
This is scary, and this is important, and this is an alarm bell.
Exactly.
Dr. Abu Naga, you are the General Coordinator for the I-Water Program, Cologne University, Germany. Talk to us about that program, the I-Water Program. What's the I, and the partnership between universities in Germany and in Egypt in this very important field?
So the idea came for me because I am an engineer by profession, and I graduated from Mansoura University here in Egypt.
Civil engineer, public
Civil
works?
engineering, yeah. So my mindset was in engineering,
Right.
and then I studied
Public works, right? Specialty? The specialty was
no,
public works?
especially we were in general. So, but for water
Yeah.
management. And when I traveled to Germany to study the integrated water resources management, which is a unique program that really managed to have different disciplines to come together in order to find solutions for water. So imagine coming engineers with also social science, with political science, with law, with
brilliant idea.
Yeah,
really.
with different
a brilliant
disciplines.
idea, because it needs an integrated approach.
Exactly, and this integrated approach will not come from itself. You need an education, but we didn't learn this because as an engineer, we usually talk to engineers and we didn't talk
Technical side,
only
yeah,
the technical side. And this is what we need, because the multifaceted challenge that we face in water, it needs really a collective actions from all of us. That is why when I did my master's and my PhD, and I have been
In Cologne, in Germany.
in Germany, yes, and also I have been doing also professional work with many organizations like World Bank and United Nations, and have a great experience with really many associations. I am a chair for the Urban Water Security Working Group at the International Water Resources Association, and all this experience that I have really learned from it, and really very important for a country like Egypt. That is why this was the idea for me to bring this new master program with this multidisciplinary to Egypt.
Wonderful.
And the I water, we said this I is really representing the integrated, the innovation, infrastructure resilience, and also many all international, all eyes that we need. It's like the iPhone, so it would be a branding name that we can use it. And the main idea for this project is to have a partnership between academia and the industry, because we really need a solution that should be also aligned with the market and applied sciences.
And the relationship is usually not very healthy between
Exactly.
academia and industry.
Exactly.
Each side believes that they are the elite, and you know that they have all the solutions, and that the other side is just number two. So it's usually they don't work together very well, academia and industry. But they have to.
They have to, because this is the way we have to go, that science, we need to work on this interface to strengthen the interface between science and policy and practice. And this is very important for us here in Egypt. That is why this is a program as a partnership between academia and industry in Germany and in Egypt. So we have the universities in Germany, and also the companies, German companies working in water issues, representing also by our partners, the German Water Partnership, and also here the partners in Egypt from different ministries and also research centers and also working all together with the companies.
Which universities in Egypt are part of this?
We have Ain Shams and also Mansoura University. We just
Mansoura was your university?
Yes, exactly. Okay. This was the idea for me, so especially also.
So you brought it to Mansoura first?
We had actually collaboration with Ain Shams for more than 20 years.
20?
Yeah, exactly. And
that's before you went?
Yeah, exactly. And this is why in Mansoura, it's my home city, and I see all the challenges that comes from water and climate are in this area. It's very important also to have Mansoura University with us. So all these universities are working together in order to make a new program in Egypt in integrated water resources management, which really get all students and also researchers from different backgrounds to find really innovative and also new solutions for water. And this is very important for us. We focus in really market-oriented solutions, so that we need to have all the solutions really practical one, and also to be applied in in practice. And for sure, this is very important that we have also new courses that really can manage to have all these different disciplines to come together, but also projects and research projects that comes from the industry in order to find solutions already the industry are facing. And for sure, this to build this curriculum, to build this new master program.
For how long have you been
Egypt?
working in this cooperation? The iWater program.
The iWater has just started in this year. It will last for about 3 years, and but for sure there is also a need for sustainability for such programs that we need to work on it. This is, I think, this is a vision.
Any achievements so far in the few months that you've worked, or are you still laying the foundations?
Actually,
for the program?
Actually, it was very promising that when we conducted the first workshop with staff and also with young researchers from different disciplines, they were I was amazed because I find these different disciplines, when they come to see what are the major challenges or how we can really cooperate with each others, I find really that we have really a promising youth in Egypt with this really innovative solutions that really come to really solve and also achieve water security and also the Egypt Vision 2030. And this was me. It was really, I was impressed by the
very good to hear.
Yes, by the outcomes. So imagine if we have this innovative solution and this model has been implementing everywhere in Egypt, because water is a cross-cutting issue. It's interconnected with all disciplines, from political science, from law, from engineering, from social science, and all solutions that we need. Yes, exactly. It's you could imagine it's really it's in the interest of the citizens, of governments, of everyone, and all sectors. So it's really important to come together, and this unique program will be promising in order to have new generation of researchers and also workers and specialists in integrated water resources management. And this is very important for us in Egypt, because we would be equipped with this new generations that do have the capacity to deal with different challenges that comes from different perspectives. And I could tell you in Germany, when the floods happened and they destroyed also a village in North Rhine-Westphalia, and 100 people, they started to looking at interdisciplinary and also integrated solution. And in our university in instant, we built a new faculty which is starting the multidisciplinary from even the undergrad studies. And this is to build a new generation, understand all these perspectives.
Germans, are always masters at the scientific and logical approach, really.
Exactly.
So you are optimistic with the iWater program, and you think that with the enthusiasm and energy and knowledge of Egypt's youth, we will get to innovative solutions for our water problem.
Exactly. So we have in this project for sure exchange, not only from academia, but also for the students to learn from others. And also we have the German industry with Egypt to exchange and learn from each other. So we will have an events and conferences in both in Germany and in Egypt, learning from each other, and also to really achieve what we need in terms of water and resilient also systems that we need to have it in Egypt. And the hope for us is really comes from this new generation that will come from this integrated water resources management, and also that we are aligning even with the practice of the industry. So we are working hand in hand from Germany and Egypt in order to reach this goal. We need to have an integrated solutions, and this is for sure is all in the SDG 6.51, which is called for integrated water resources management at different levels. So I think a promising approach to solve the many water issues, and for us also here in Egypt to get all these disciplines and all the society and all these sectors to come together in order to achieve water security for
Well,
all.
we really commend your efforts, Dr. Abu Naga, at the iWater program, and we hope to follow up on the achievements of this program as Germany and Egypt work together for the benefit of both countries, and in that very important issue. I mean, again, water is the source of life, and I'm sure if those youth are just like you, I mean, we will definitely make big leaps and big successes. Thank you very much, Dr. Hassan Abu Naga, the international expert and general coordinator of the iWater program at Köln University of Applied Sciences, Germany. It's been a pleasure having you. We commend your efforts again, and we hope to meet again and talk about this program, inshallah, and making big leaps forward. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Dr. Abu Naga. And thank you, dear viewers, for watching Windows. This is Mohammed Abdelrahim, and this is Good Night.